Well, hey everybody, it is Romania Black, and yeah. So, as you all are watching this, the live stream has already happened for Puella Magi Madoka Magica, but I wanted to go ahead and record this before the live stream, so it's kind of a weird. We're doing a lot of time travel Homura style, but I had a lot of requests to look at some extra material for the series, and so Pancake was kind enough to like put some things together. And last week we talked a little bit about the first audio drama, which and then the transformation sequence and the OP for the movie and some comments. But I've definitely got more comments since the movie has come out on Patreon, and any other comments that I get from YouTube about the movie, I'll probably just compile and put together to talk about in the live stream. But I wanted to go ahead and talk about the comments for the movie that I received, as well as a couple other things that were pointed out on the Discord before we dive into the third audio drama. We're skipping the second one. I was told the second one wasn't, I didn't have to see it, but the third one had some plot relevant things that I should probably know about. So we're going to be looking at the third audio drama as well as the English dub outtakes, which I've looked at the English dub outtakes for Berserk, and even though I've not seen the English dub for Madoka Magica, I still think that it's worth watching. And then we're also going to look at a parody video that I've been told is like the parody videos of all parody videos for Puella Magi Madoka Magica. I don't usually react to parody videos. I think the only ones I've really done is like Berserk and Free. But for this series, it felt needed. So we're going to look at that. But we have a lot of comments to get through before we talk about that. So bear with me. The first thing I want to talk about is some of the extra things that were pointed out from Discord. JVA talked about this interview from the creator of Madoka Magica saying, there's like 5 questions on here that were asked in an interview to the creator. And so question 1 was, what does new Madoka Magica, what does that movie mean to you? And the creator says, the awaited sequel, the new experiment. It's like drawn. Madoka's own story began moving from the stopped time. It is a special work. I like the idea of calling it an experiment, and that it is. Question 2, say something to transformed Homura-chan. No matter what form you take, Homura-chan is Homura-chan. Falling in love with someone is wonderful, so don't call yourself the devil. I love you. Oh, how dare! Oh my God! What? And then they had a little drawing, a little scribble. It says, "I think that's what Madoka says." It's a love story. The ship is real. The ship is canon, right? Question 3. What scene did you like in the movie? What scene was memorable? The mangaka says, in the flower field when Madoka braids Homura-chan's hair. Did she want Madoka to accept her weak self? I wonder. That's what I thought about. No matter how many times I watch it, it makes me want to cry. Oh, that scene is so good. It's one of my favorites in the movie, too. Question 4. Did you keep something in mind during the production? The mangaka says, was I able to present Madoka that Homura-chan and everyone wanted? I wonder. It'd be nice if I could. I think so. I know we're going to talk about it in another comment about the opinions being divided upon the movie, but question 5. Please say something to visiting fans. Please love Mado Magi. Thank you. I'm glad that I was able to contribute a bit to Mado Magi that all of you like. Yeah, this series is pretty spot on and perfect, and my dogs are being ridiculous. Huckleberry, quit. Thank you. He probably won't listen. He's an Aries. So, yes. Then we have from JVA, they also shared the lizard design for Homura-chan, which I thought was really interesting. I thought the lizard was cool. And it says in the translation that Akuma's mark is based on the image of the snake is closely associated with the Bible, so I felt that a lizard is more human. So I chose a lizard with upside down white wings. I wondered if it would look different from Western emblems. And so it says the mark of faith is different from everyone else's. So I like that. I like that instead of a snake, which has a lot of biblical ties, it's a lizard, and that it's more human. So it ties more to Homura, and that the wings are kind of like just all distorted and everything. I thought that was really cool. So nice. Then Pancake shared a couple of things. One was about Ophelia, which is Kyoko's witch, and the card for her. And then Mammy, or Mommy's witch, which is Candeloro, which I thought was an interesting name, Candeloro. I figured Kyoko's would be that, but Ophelia kind of ties better to Kyoko. Huckleberry! He's just barking for no reason. All he is just chasing my other dog. That's all he's doing is barking for no reason. So we have Kyoko's witch form, Ophelia, the witch of Wudon. Her nature is self-abandonment, a witch who eternally wanders with hollow footsteps within the fog. She can no longer remember what the horse that always accompanies her was. And I like the idea that she's kind of based off of these like martial arts kind of geisha motif, which ties to Kyoko's character really nicely. Then we have Mommy's witch form, Candeloro. Again, I thought Candeloro would be a nice name for Kyoko's witch, but that's fine. It's the witch of dress up with an inviting nature, a kind-hearted witch that yearns of ideal things. Dreams of ideal things. The witch can't stand being lonely, so she never lets visitors escape her barrier, which ties to Mommy's personality. She hosts a tea party every day within her home at the depths of her labyrinth, but eating the food there will remove your soul. Her body is so small it could fit in a teacup. Ties to the teacup, and she mainly transports herself by hanging onto her familiar's body like a key holder. And if you look at her design, she has the ribbons that were tied into the movie, the ribbons with her design, and they look like a key holder, like you'd hold a key like a necklace. That's so cool. I love that. I like how Mommy's witch transfers and translates really accurately to her personality. I thought that was really cool. Then you have Charlotte. So we have the idea of Nagisa and Charlotte. We'll talk about Nagisa in a second, but that's her human form. The witch form Charlotte in the show is the witch of sweets. Her nature is tenacity. She desires everything. She will never give up. Though she is capable of creating infinite amounts of any dessert she desires, she is unable to make the cheese that she loves the most. One could easily catch her off guard with a piece of cheese. And we'll talk about that here in just a second with Mommy. Then in the movie, she's the witch of sweets. She's once dreamt of tenacity. A mysterious nature who suddenly appeared in Mommy's home was christened Bebe, or Bibi, but is actually the witch of sweets, who moved from... I'll get this right. My little thing is blocking me. Who arrived from the law of cycles. She was expressionless and silent when she was first encountered, but took on its current appearance out of the blue. A bit loud. Mommy made its clothes by hand. Oh, look at you, Mommy. Look at you and your sewing skills winning that design challenge. Mommy resembles someone who appeared in the final nightmare that the witch saw. Okay, so there is a backstory with Nagisa, aka Charlotte the Witch, that Pancake shared, saying that Nagisa's backstory: she lived alone since her dad left her and her mom and the latter is hospitalized. Kyubey constantly pesters her to make a contract, but Nagisa refuses and questions his motives. She doesn't like cheese that much, but she buys cheese for her mom. On her way home, she's attacked by a familiar, but is saved by you. And, what does it say here? It keeps blocking me. An amnesiac magical girl. Kyubey says that she kills people on her perception of who is good or who is bad. Nagisa does consider wishing for her mom to get better, but thinks she should ask her first. Oh, look at you, Nagisa. Nagisa thinks hard about her wish and quickly realizes she could heal her mom so that her mom will love her again, and realize it was a mistake to stop loving her. So she wants her mom to know that she is the cause of her getting healed. This sounds very Sakuya-like, right? Nagisa wants her mom to know it was her who made the wish, so she will like her again and making her wish a selfish one. She tells her mom about the wish, but she's too distraught over her father abandoning them and thinks Nagisa is pretending to care about her. Instead, she tells Nagisa to wish for everyone to die because she doesn't care about anything anymore, Nagisa included. Oh my God! Nagisa runs off to where Kyubey is and says that she wishes for the yummiest cheesecake based on her mom's taste. She uses the wish for a useless cause now to spite her mom. Nagisa becomes a magical girl and swears to live freely for herself and only herself. She's like a mixture between Sayaka and Kyoko. Later, she ends up in the witch's barrier, but is saved by you again. After gaining consciousness, she realizes her mom is in danger because she remembers that the other day you said she was after a bad Momoi. She arrives too late, for Yu has already killed her. Oh my God! Yu bids her farewell and says everything should be right now that she's dead. As she dies, Nagisa's mom pleads for her to call the doctor, but she refuses, with this being the first and last time she disobeyed her mom. After the end, it is implied she became a witch sometime later. The story ends with a fairy tale of how Nagisa became a magical girl alone and died alone on a day not too cold and not too hot. The last thing she remembered seeing was being surrounded by more candy than she could eat. But the cheese was gone. Oh, it's like some creepypasta shit, right? So much candy, but no delicious cheese. Cheese, cheese, where is the cheese? Her mom loves cheese. Nagisa loves cheese. Cheese, cheese, where is the cheese? The end. The thing that's funny is that Pancake points out that in the movie, and showed a little screenshot of them all talking about the different things that they're bringing to the party, and Mommy says, I am the cheese. And that's why Mommy and Nagisa are together. So I'm like, yeah, it's like a ship, a built-in ship in the movie, but oh my God, that's terrifying. That's such a sad story. No. Anyway, I know I've gone on an awful long time, but we still have these comments to talk about from the movie from Patreon and from episode 12 in the YouTube comments, so we need to get to those. Data Weaver points out that it was revealed that if Hitomi were ever to become a magical girl, her wish would be no more incubators. And I'm like, yes! You know what? I'm with Hitomi. I almost thought that that was going to be the wish that Madoka would make in episode 12. I thought Madoka's wish was going to be no more incubators. Although the problem with that is it doesn't solve the problem of there being the Walpurgisnacht and all of that. The Walpurgisnacht doesn't solve that problem. There's the witches that are around are still witches, and the magical girls are still going to become witches. So in the end, that wish doesn't necessarily solve the inherent problem. It just, treats the cause, but not the symptoms. Basically, although, damn, if Hitomi and Madoka had just got together and worked together, then maybe Homura wouldn't have had to become a demon, but what can we do? But that's good to know. Bernard Black says, the thing that melts my brain is that the finale implies that Anne Frank was a magical girl. It's a blink and you miss it moment in the MG montage, but yep, they sure went there. I'm going to be honest. I thought for a second in the reaction, I think I caught that glimpse you're talking about, Bernard, but I was like, do I bring that up? I was like, do I bring that up and just make it weird? But no, apparently that was a thing. So yeah, Joan of Arc, Anne Frank. There's some moments in history that you could have like an entire OVA of just those moments, but don't know if I want to think about that. So that's pretty creepy. David, ID6JW, notes that the implication I always took is that the very first magical girl that Madoka saves, the one in the green field with the flags and streamers of pennants around the area, is the original Walpurgisnacht. That's because the pennants are very similar to the circus flavor of the Walpurgisnacht's train of familiars you see when Homura is walking to meet her, just before the Walpurgisnacht itself initially manifests. Yeah, I was trying to think of, in the actual episode, what that witch was reminding me of, and that's what it was reminding me of, was the Walrus Witch. So that's a very good theory. I would definitely buy that and think that it's canon. So, cool. I'm glad you pointed that out. Purpleberry 3564 says, I forgot to tell you this, but in episode 9, one of the many reasons why Mommy is on the brink of breaking down is that Mommy failed to save a child when starting being a magical girl, which haunts her along with all kinds of trauma. I'm guessing someone in the reply to that said it was from the game, the PSP game. And so I was like, oh, that definitely makes sense. It feels a lot like, Madoka's wish as well from the first audio drama that we watched last week. So that's interesting. Skep Kid says, in the PSP game, we know that Hitomi is bisexual because she says that Homura is beautiful. And when Sayaka is surprised she swings that way, she says she is a little interested. So she presumably leans heavily towards men, or Homura is her gay awakening. As for the fact that they never interact in the series, I imagine it's because the creators didn't have that idea originally, and it's not important, but the game does imply a reason. Hitomi falls hard, and Hitomi literally gives her a hug after she and Sayaka fight and tells her it will be okay. Hitomi shows up the next day referring to them as soulmates and asking when they should meet parents. Homura probably goes out of her way to avoid drawing her attention from then on. Oh, I mean, it's pretty interesting that Homura falls hard, or Hitomi falls hard. I could see that. But it's interesting how this PlayStation game is giving us, like, extra canonical semi-canon content. So I definitely agree that the producers probably didn't have time to go into that storyline, and plus that would probably implicate Hitomi more into the story, so they're probably like, we'll just avoid it, and I have no complaints with that. Math talks about how mommy means mom in Spanish and bibi means baby in Spanish. So you have mommy and Nagisa, kind of that relationship, and then the cheese with mommy being the cheese, going back to Nagisa's mom. It all ties in. I liked Math's comment saying when Homura talks to Sayaka about being quote-unquote evil and perhaps destroying the universe after all the wraiths have been defeated, her familiars are throwing tomatoes at her like a bad actor on a stage, which would confirm to me the whole I'm evil thing is just a facade. Oh, I love that. I love that symbolism. I'm like, yes. And then the details, this part I loved. I was like, yes. The details are up to speculation. But given Kyubei's look at the end of the movie, some people have theorized that now that the incubators are capable of feeling emotions, and Homura makes them handle the curses of mankind. Either way, Kyubei's expressionless eyes have never wavered during the entire show, even while being shot or destroyed. Yet at the end, Kyubei's eyes seem full of distress and pain. If Homura changing the universe made the incubators feel emotions and makes them feel that as they're destroying the curses, I think that would be fair. It would get them to go away and never come back. Then I do agree with this. I hadn't thought about the symbolism with this moment, but Math's comment definitely brought it up. The epilogue breaks my heart each time. The half moon and Homura leaning against nothing on her chair symbolizes she's missing her half and is mirroring the scene where Madoka and Homura are sitting next to each other earlier in the movie. You can see when she hears noises and looks back expectantly, but then she looks disappointed after she realizes it's just Kyubei. She was probably hoping for Madoka. That does break my heart a lot because, yeah, she's just waiting for them to be together again. But in saving Madoka, she breaks them apart. It's like, Anyway, I thought that was really good. Nakirium says, when Rebellion first dropped, the entire Madoka fandom was split in two. One side who understood why Homura did what she did and really appreciated the writing behind her character. The other side absolutely hated her decision. It was so bad that the phrase Homura did nothing wrong was very regularly thrown around to defend Homura's actions, even though we all know what she did was for selfish intent. Yeah, the whole they did nothing wrong, I definitely see that in Berserk with a certain character who, in fact, does all the things that are wrong. But with Homura, no, I'm definitely in the first camp. I feel like as heartbreaking as it is, as bittersweet as it is, as angsty as it is, it's very intentional. And it gives Homura's character like a come full circle moment. And despite it all, despite her sadness, it's like she's kind of bittersweet knowing that she gets to save Madoka from being harmed by... Basically, Kyubei is the one to blame for all of this. All the incubators, if they just stayed away from Earth, we wouldn't have had this problem. I'm just going to direct all my anger towards Kyubei. And then I'll be fine. And then Dynamite96 said, and so Homura's journey comes to a close, for the time being. Having begun her quest with the earnest and selfish wish of wanting to save Madoka from the fate of becoming a witch, she completed it by becoming a demon and imposing her own selfish desire to save Madoka, going against Madoka's own wishes and denying her her agency. I think the movie is a fascinating look at how someone's goals can become twisted over time, and how through her despair, Homura ends up wanting to save her idea of Madoka rather than actually respecting Madoka's own convictions. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Homura always wanted to just save Madoka and keep being friends with her, and we see how that journey leads her through on. Although I will say, honestly, I respect Homura's decision so much, because even though it is denying Madoka some agency, Madoka doesn't realize what Kyubei was going to do. She doesn't realize that Kyubei was going to eventually control her and turn her into a witch. So it's like, it is one of those things where, yeah, she denies her some agency, but on the other end, she kind of has to, because otherwise she's going to die. It's just one of those, like, it's one of those cruel world scenarios, you know? But damn. So, yeah, I talked for 20 minutes about the comments, and I'm sure when we get to the live stream, or as you've watched the live stream, I'm sure it was crazy. But I'm sure when I do the live stream, I'm recording before it now, that I'm going to have a lot of comments to talk about based on the movie coming out, so we'll just see about those. But, yeah, I'm ready for the audio drama. I'm very excited. Should be a fun time. And then we're going to be looking at some parodies as well as some bloopers. So that should be exciting. So for the audio drama, I am going to turn off the sound and just do this. I will probably take these out and have the sound play for the bloopers as well as for the parody, and I'll just have it like cut out and linked below in the description, because the last time I tried to do the transformation sequence with the first part, the footage was still flagged by YouTube even though there was no sound. So what can we do? But in any case, we'll see what we get. So I'm excited to dive into this. I hope you all are too. But we're going to look at audio drama 3 for Puella Magi Madoka Magica, and we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Go and give me sound. Hello. Oh, okay. I was like, where's the sound? It's just going on for like 20 seconds and there's nothing, so that's interesting. I like mowed my yard the other day, and so I have like all this congestion. Here we go. That took like 30 seconds to get in. Huh. Automobile factory field trip. What a weird field trip. I love Monica's outfit. Aw. Is she like having this existential moment? Why are we having this moment? What is happening? This creepy image of her just standing there is... What? How's that work? That's weird. Huh. Is it gonna be like a witch's lair? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No! So they're not dreaming. So is this after the series? Is this after Rebellion? It has to be after Rebellion, right? Huh. Aww. Oh, hey! Oh, the ghost shows up. What is happening? What? What? Well, how is she a magical girl but the other two aren't? Huh. Farewell story. What timeline is this happening on? Uh. Oh. What? I'm curious to know this timeline, because Sayaka and Madoka are not magical girls, but Kyoko is. I guess maybe this is before the season started. Oh, shit. Oh, what? There are two of her now? What? How? I didn't know Kyoko could split into two. Oh my god, the screams and child laughter is like terrifying. What? Oh my god, kind of like Charlotte. And Mommy. Funny that Mommy saves her from a decoy when she gets killed by it in the series. I like Mommy's music that kicks in. It's very like angelic with the choir. Introductions first. No, we're gonna get the witch out of the way. Oh. Oh, okay. I like Team Starburst over here. It's like Yang and Pyrrha from Ruby. The way that their designs are. So... Ha! This fan art. I always love the concept of if they work together, then they could possibly save each other. I liked that theme in this series. Ah. I like that Mommy has the flowers beside her and then Kyoko has the stars. Uh, ah. Hmm. Got any free time? Want to go on a date? Oh! Why is Charlotte there in the picture? Hmm? Uh. Oh. Maybe it's just fan art that has Charlotte there and they're not actually there. Hmm. Oh, Kyoko's very friendly in this version. She's not her usual kind of tsundere self. Hmm. Hmm. I always wanted a friend who's a magical girl. Oh man, the callback. Oh. Hmm. Hmm. I love it. Aw. Dang! So, still don't know which timeline this is. But it's a little bit different from the OG timeline. I never thought about the Kyoko and Mommy team up, so I'm not opposed to it. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Well, well, probably. It's a pretty good theory. Hmm. Hmm. Huh. I also wanted to note that it was interesting that they went to like an automobile factory when you consider the fact of the factory being like Kyubei's whole thing with making magical girls and witches, like the tie to that is kind of clever. This whole thing of Kyoko copying herself, maybe I forgot about it from the series. Maybe I forgot about it, but I don't remember it. I guess she did do it in the movie or the show. I just hadn't made much notice of it. Huh. Rosso Phantasma. Yeah, like the name. What? Oh, Red Phantom. Oh, thank you for the translation, mommy. It's not a question of whether I like it or not, but ah, it's feels a little Pokemon. You know. Uh, how you gonna fix it? Hmm. Ha! I love somebody on the Discord was like, I wish Kibe would just have left these lesbians alone. Hmm. Oh, where to? Where are we going to instead? Oh! This is a different timeline. Oh. So this is a different timeline because her parents and sister are alive. So she made a wish based on something different. Interesting. 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 I'm curious what the twist is going to be, because you know these always have a twist. Like last audio drama, it was the cat and Madoka. She seems a lot younger than the artwork would suggest. Hmm. 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 Aw. Hmm. And mommy just wanted to be around all these people. Aw. Have some coffee, girl. Get some caffeine in your system. Aw. Wow, getting to hear her parents talk and her sister. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Oh, this is that. Oh, because she did make the wish based on that. Huh. But where's the twist? Uh-huh. Sure. I wonder if mommy's going to see through it. Sure, the results of his effort. Yeah. Uh-huh. We'll see how that goes. Was it her wish then? Hmm. Sure. Of course. Is she going to question Kyoko about it? Oh. I didn't know I would want to ship mommy and Kyoko, but I kind of do. Y'all just had me watch this so we can multi-ship. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Well, not necessarily. Ah. Of course, mommy would make this something that would make her feel bad. Of course. Hmm. Hmm. Dang, seeing Kyoko be like happier and kinder. Hmm. So, uh-oh. Uh, Oh. Uh. That's creepy. That's very creepy. Oh, I don't like his laughter at all. Ew. What? I like that all of her stuff has Tiro in it, right? Ah. 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 With all the different ones. That one's like clutching her thigh down there under her skirt. What? 13 decoys. Oh, wow. And they even have fan art for this. Oh. Hmm. Huh. All the little Kyokos on her. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Is that why she does that? To try to lighten up the situation? Oh, wow. Be so meta and bring that back. Yeah. Hmm. Oh. Uh. Oh my God. Are you? Is this? Why are you having us watch this? Oh. Oh shit. So this is the original timeline. Oh crap. Oh. Oh. Hmm. 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 Right. Oh shit. And that connection to her dad and her family. Oh. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. 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 Oh my god. Oh. 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 Dang it. No. Oh. Oh, it's so sad because if this is the timeline from the actual series, the season, not the OG, but the season itself, then it would explain Kyoko being on her own, but knowing the city. It would explain Homura knowing her. It would explain Mommy being so distraught, and then when she sees Sayaka and Madoka, she's like, oh yes. Oh. Oh. Mm. Oh. 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 Well, no wonder Mommy's the way that she is in season 1. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hmm. I love that drawing of them. Hmm. Wow. Hmm. I mean, yes. So we go back to that episode. Well. Ha! You'd be surprised. Oh, wow. Homura, girl! Oh, you have no idea. Oh. Oh. Dang. Damn. Oh, wow. Well, you know. Oh my gosh. So that was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking. So yeah, this was from the timeline of season 1, the timeline that the main story was from, and by that point Homura had been through all the other timelines, and that just added to her mysteriousness. But wow, okay, so it's nice to know canonically that Mami and Kyoko did know each other. They did work together, and that was before all the stuff went down with Kyoko's family. I had always thought that Kyoko's family, she was really young as a magical girl, and that all went down. And then she went, and found Homura and all the others. But no, she had had some time with Mami before even that all happened. Crazy. That just makes it even more heartbreaking, right? And that sadly, the sad thing about it is it's really realistic, like not to get morbid or anything, but I do a lot of training for mediation and for like trying to help people with students mainly in my work profession if they have like mental health crises. And a lot of times like the stereotypical ways that the media portrays people who have like ideations of suicide and things like that, it's not like how the movies portray it, right? It's a little bit different. And so the way that Kyoko, her family seems perfectly fine, and then at a different time, unexpectedly, it just all happens. Like, that is very true to life, sadly. And so I felt so much for Kyoko during this series. And then now knowing that she broke that off with Mami, and that just furthered Mami's own distance. And now it adds even more to her, how she felt when she met Madoka and Sayaka. It's like, oh no, all this makes sense. It's like adding just more layers to the cake. It's like, I see why you all want me to watch that, but I still like Sayaka and Kyoko more as a ship. But if you ship Mami and Kyoko, now I get it. Now I get it. Oh my gosh. So that was horrifically sad. So let's cure that problem by looking at some bloopers and a parody. So like I said, there will be a link down below for the parody and the outtakes probably, because I want there to be sound and YouTube won't let me have that. So we'll just come back at the end of this and talk about it overall, but we're going to look at that first. So we're going to start this blooper reel, and we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1, and I'll see you all on the other side. What? Excuse me. Okay. All right. So that was fun. I don't think that the parody video is my type of humor. I'm not into like, I like satire a little bit more, and that was maybe a little too lowbrow for me. But I do really like the Kyubey with the 2000 shades over him, and then the end song was pretty good. The artwork that goes with it was great. But yeah, the bloopers, I love bloopers where it's just like the voice actors being like, blah. Because the voice actor job when you're dubbing Japanese, I've watched so many like behind the scenes videos where they're dubbing Japanese, and it's so hard. Like, I would love to be a voice actor, but I don't know if I have the timing skills to do like the lip movements to the beeps where you have to like the beep, beep, beep. Now you got to get all of this words in a certain amount of time, get the pronunciation right, make sure it sounds good, and emote. So I honestly feel like English voice actors and any voice actor that's not the native language, y'all deserve some praise, because it is hard to get emotion, get the lip movements, get the timing, make it sound good, and get it all done efficiently and still make sense with the actual script. So kudos to you all. That's I think the English dub, I would like to watch the English dub of Madoka Magica. My thing is, I didn't like the dub voice of Kyubey. It was a female voice, and I was like, And I know that shouldn't matter, but there's something about Kyubey's voice having a little hint of masculinity to it. I don't know. It just fit Kyubey so much in the Japanese dub, and maybe it's the voice actors for the Japanese as well. But there was just like the timbre and cadence of Kyubey's voice, regardless of whether it was masculine or feminine. I really like the Japanese dub of Kyubey because it's just so, it's perfectly imposing and manipulative, but it doesn't come off as too forced. It feels very like, I'm just little Cube. What are you talking about? Whereas the English dub voice almost seems like you can kind of see through it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's not my cup of tea, but the other voices sounded great. I think the voice of the dad is Roy Mustang for the English dub. I think that's his voice actor. Anyway, so yeah, I know that I'll talk about it in the live stream, but a lot of people have asked me, or not a lot, but some people have asked me to do a Magica Recordia. It's like a 13 episode side series that's a side story for Madoka. Look, here's my thing. I would like to get to it eventually. I'm riding a pretty big high off of Madoka Magica. My fear is, one, I will want to watch more Madoka content in the future, and then I'll want to go back to that series and get another dose. So I want to hold on to it, not like I don't want to eat all my cake in one sitting, basically. But the other thing is, I'm in love with this series so much, and it's so perfect. The original series and the movie is so perfect to me that I'm afraid if I watch this side series, it will tarnish it a little bit if it's not as perfect. So I'm going to hold off and wait a little bit, let the nostalgia creep in before I watch it again. The other question I have received much more is if I will watch the trailer for the new movie. And here's the thing. Two things. One, watching the Yuri on Ice Adolescence trailer and then the movie not coming out has really spoiled my idea of watching trailers. It's made me very apprehensive about it. And two, I loved going into Rebellion with no idea what I was getting into. It made the experience so amazing. And because of that, I don't necessarily want to watch the trailer, because if the movie comes out, I'm going to have to wait like a year until I can watch it on streaming, probably. That's usually how it goes with these animated movies. I have to wait like a year before they come on streaming, and it is a thing. So that'll just make the wait even worse. But two, I want to go in blind. So that's the idea. But yeah, so there's still the manga for Madoka Magica. There's still this Madoka Recordia or record or whatever it is, the side series. I definitely would like to revisit the world of Puella Magi Madoka Magica at some point. But I do have so many other series that I want to get to. So many other series that might be similar to this one that I want to explore first and do that. So I will definitely come back to this series because I love it so, so much. But I want to go and explore some other anime first. So I'm curious to know your thoughts down below, what you all thought of the audio drama. Maybe you all, I'm very curious. It feels like the parody was kind of one of those time capsule internet creations, which there are so many like shorts from the early 2000s on the internet, like Albino Black Sheep and those type of sites, that they hold such a special place in my heart that I know trying to introduce to somebody now, they would watch that and go, that's dumb as shit. And I'd be like, but you had to be there. So I'm very curious to know kind of the story behind the parody, and if you all want to explain that down below and where you were when the Meduca parody came out, I'd be very curious to know about that. So but yeah, and if you have any other parodies, I probably won't react to them, but if you have any other parodies you'd recommend with Madoka Magica, I'd like to know about them. So anyway, thank you all so, so much for following me on this journey so far with Puella Magi Madoka Magica. I'm excited in the future to eventually see more with the series and hopefully the movie when it comes out. So at least we have that to look forward to. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back very soon with more reactions. Bye!